Uh-oh. Hello. Happy Thanksgiving. Happy Turkey Day. Happy harvest to everyone. I hope y'all can hear me. Um, I'm doing some different stuff tonight. So I can't hear. Oh, here we go. Shawnee baby is in the house. About to get this thing started, y'all. Ran into some technical difficulties on the StreamYard last minute. It's not giving me my backgrounds. It's not getting me my intro. It looks like Cookie has a lot of things going on, and therefore it wouldn't go into my what you call it. It wouldn't go into my my preset with all my stuff in it. I don't know what's going on. Okay. And now it's not really doing blurring my background like I like. Not really blurring my background, but oh yeah, it is. At any rate, I'm gonna get this thing started because ain't nothing to it but to do it. Anybody in the house? Anybody in the house? Alan Wesley, what's up, Alan? Thanks for tuning in. Do me a favor, subscribe, like, and share this with a friend. DJ Frisco, what's up, DJ Frisco? Appreciate you coming through. We about to get this convo started. Like I said, ran into a couple technical difficulties with this StreamYard. It's not performing like it usually does. But nonetheless, happy Thanksgiving and Turkey Day, and be with your family, and thankfulness, blessings day. That's what it's all about, being thankful. Gratitude is the attitude every day. But, you know, you off work today, you get to see some family and stuff like that. So that's always a beautiful thing. So I'm going to bring in Shawnee, baby, Recke, and we're going to get this thing. You ready? Is everything? Can everybody hear me?
I can hear you.
Okay. How you doing, Shawnee, baby? Happy.
I am so good. Thank you so much. I'm like, I gotta hurry up and eat because I gotta do this video at 5 o'clock.
Oh yeah, that's right. It's
So
early over there.
yeah,
Yeah, look, I just ate a little bit. I said I'm gonna tear down after this, but I just wanted to
right.
do a
Yeah.
little something before I didn't want to have the itis. So Rodney's with you? Rodney Nelson?
Oh, he on the West Coast.
Okay.
That's family.
Yeah. Okay.
He's not with me, but yeah, it's family.
Oh, okay. I didn't know if he was coming in. If you want him to come in.
Yeah, he's
I mean,
coming
but
in. Yeah, a few
okay.
people. I invited people to come in. Let them come in. Let them all come in.
Okay. All right.
Roll in.
Now, you want him to come in now, or you want to just?
Yeah, you can let
Hold
people
on.
come in. Whatever you want. You know, it's your
Oh yeah.
show. I'm a
Ain't no
guest here,
thing.
so thank you.
Ain't
And
no
things
thing.
it's Thanksgiving, so I'm thankful. Everybody can come in.
A-
You can let them all come in.
absolutely. The
We
more
can
the
have a
merrier,
party.
right?
Yeah, whatever you want.
Exactly. Uh, Daddy Troy, Universal Sports Talk 93. Appreciate y'all.
What's up?
At this discount frequency, I'm looking at the people on Instagram as well. I be trying to keep up. So, Eric Stevens, what's up, brother? Out in the natty. Happy Thanksgiving to you. Man, yeah, that the little technical difficulties always seem to throw me off. And it always right before I
I
set it up
know.
yesterday. When I
Yeah.
came in, it was like, no, Hawa Kalumai. Are you from Hawaii? Hello.
Hello.
Hello. Thanks everybody. I usually just start off with, where did you catch the bug to be a musician? What age? What influences?
Wow.
And was it the music being played in the house? Was any of the family members musicians?
Wow. So I guess, in my family, we played music in the house. My mother, like, we grew up dancing. Music was always playing. My mother was always dancing. It was a part of the joy that was in the house, the gratitude that was in the house. And when you're a kid, you grow up waking up like that, and just the joy to music. You grow up and you're just like dancing, and it's so much fun, and it was just like celebration. And so I grew up in this family that, a lot of people are educators, scholars, but I was this creative person. They knew it from the very beginning, always talking too much, always being dramatic, just, I just always had this creative being side, and they knew before I knew. I just loved performing for the family. My sister and my cousin, my
Hmm.
aunt and uncle, we were just performing for the grandparents and the family members at the grandparents house. And I guess it was just like, this girl is going to be a creative person because she can't stop talking.
Right,
So,
right. I can identify with that. And I heard Martin Lawrence say the same thing. It's like the family over, and you get a couple cousins, and y'all doing some type
yeah.
of play or music or
Oh my
being in
God.
Jackson 5 or,
My
what
mother
have
used
you.
to wake us up at night when she had company. Get out, Shawnee J, come on, sing for the guests. I'm
Yeah,
like,
yeah.
listen. So,
Do your bit.
yeah. Oh my God.
So I
So
saw
funny
that you
though.
went, I saw you went to Duke Ellington.
Yes. Uh-huh.
I kind of thought I knew that, but so were you playing, they said for vocal, you like vocal
Yeah.
major
So
or,
I initially went to Duke Ellington. I auditioned to get in as a voice major. I was accepted. A year later, I discovered that I had nodules on my vocal cords. And, it's like, okay, you got to leave the school. I said, I want to audition for something else. And I auditioned for percussion, and I was accepted. I would have done theater, but I couldn't use my voice. So I
Mhm.
auditioned for percussion. And although I had always loved drums and grown up in church, but I wasn't playing drums in church, I just was always like enamored by the drums. And I would always go to the drums and play, when it wasn't a service, because we were always there. And then, in Ellington, I just auditioned for percussion, and I was accepted. And that's when it all just, my life transformed before I even knew it.
And so this was ninth grade. You went in
Yeah,
high
10th
school
grade,
and do oh 10th.
yes. And then changed my major. So 11th and 12th grade, I was a percussion major. And so much had happened with regards to my growth, right? Because I couldn't use my voice. Imagine that, a teenage girl who can't talk, like, that was difficult. So I was just always practicing drums, and drumming became my voice.
Oh, that
Yeah,
exactly. That's
and
a great
just
point.
like, yeah, drumming became my voice, man, because I love to talk. And I mean, I was a teenager, so I was talking more then than I do now, but man, I couldn't use my voice. So drumming literally became my voice. And
Yeah,
that's one of the
that's
reasons why I play the way that I do, in terms of the impact hard, because people are shocked. They're like, you play so powerfully, but it's like, listen to me, like, listen, and it
I'm
just became my
speaking.
voice. Yeah. Yeah.
Okay, so which brings me to um I don't remember the year. I was young, and I just realized this as I'm,
Yeah.
going through this in my mind
Yes.
because I had a day in my mind where I first saw Go Go, right? St.
Yes.
Mary's County. I went down with
Mhm.
Everett Brown. I was 15, and he took
Wow.
me to, and I saw Blue Eye, High Cold Sweat, basically.
Yes.
So in my mind, Blue Eye was the first drummer I saw, but
Yep.
no,
Daryl. Yeah. Blue Eyed Daryl.
y'all did a Pleasure did a show called Black Reflections. It was a Black History Month show at Duke,
Mm-hmm.
and I don't know if you remember, I was a little young
Mm-hmm.
at that point. I guess I'm 13. I got my set
Yeah.
about 14, 15, right? So I
Okay.
wasn't playing yet, but I would go
Mm-hmm.
to the rehearsals because my cousin was in the thing called Showbiz Kids by a lady named Joyce Moso, who had
Okay.
a bunch of dancers, and they were doing this show with, I think, DC Parks and Rec, Gilbert Pryor.
Yeah.
So I would
Oh,
go to the
nice.
rehearsals, yeah, with my cousin, and they had a
Hmm.
drum set in the basement. So the kids just running around. I would get on it, and I could play a little beat, right? The little
Yeah.
girls and stuff. And so I think the rehearsals was at Taft, maybe the dress rehearsals. I
Yes.
don't think this day was at Duke. Anyway,
Yeah.
I told Boogie about this. Y'all were coming in the back door. I was hanging around,
Wow.
and I held the door for y'all. I think I grabbed your snail or her stick bag or something. I'm trying to help and
Mhm.
this and that. And I kind of went up there with y'all, and I was Sice. I kind of, I knew who Pleasure was.
Uh-huh.
I didn't know
Wow.
really, I knew Foots of Foots. I knew of Juice.
Yes.
I knew of Go-Go, but I wasn't
Yeah.
going out to the Go at
Right.
13.
Of course. Right.
So y'all just ended the show with one song. My little brother and Joyce's other
Wow.
two sons, they were like bodyguards standing in front of y'all. And at the end, they kind
Uh-huh.
of did the running man and ran off the stage. So you were the first drummer I saw, right?
Wow.
So I just want to
Yes.
say that had an impact on me. And
Wow.
the best female drummer ever. I'm gonna tell you that video I played with Bugs saying the baby Sheila E. I ain't like that.
Mm.
I ain't want to use that clip. It's like a baby Sheila E. We talk
Right.
about Shauney,
Yes.
baby. No disrespect to Sheila E. But
Right.
anyway, you definitely had
Yeah.
impact and influence on my playing, and just to see y'all, of course,
Huh.
the whole band, just Go-Go's. I'm seeing Go-Go
Yes.
up close, even if though it's only a song. And
Hmm.
then, of course, a couple of years later, I ended up, with Charlie and Roy, and then knowing, y'all came through the same process. And so it was just always a connection. I think we did a trip on a van somewhere, maybe a couple times, and then y'all kind
Hmm.
of stopped. And but like I'm looking at the clips and I'm like, didn't the same sets I was playing on? Just like when I saw Daryl, I was like, didn't the
Yes.
same sets, Hot, Cold,
Wow.
Sweat, Pleasure. Now, do you remember them sets being raggedy when you played on them? I just want to know for me.
I don't remember them being raggedy.
Yeah, they probably was just raggedy by the time I got to him, and he
Yeah,
wasn't
because
maintaining.
yeah, they definitely weren't raggedy. I mean,
Yeah. That
I
and he'd
felt
be like,
like
"Yeah,
we were
I got
definitely
9
taken
drum
care of.
sets." Yeah,
Huh?
they were probably new. They were probably new at that point, right?
Right.
Y'all
Yeah.
probably bought them, sweat, and but yeah, you shit. I got 10
Yeah.
drum sets. It's like, yeah, you keep bringing out this one or two with no
Wow.
heads on the back, and I'm
Oh,
always
nah.
fixing
Yeah,
stuff
I
while
don't
I'm
remember
playing.
that.
Okay,
Nah,
yeah, that.
Charlie took care of us. Nah, he made
See,
sure. Yeah.
yeah,
Yeah.
I kind of want to get into that. Look, he mad at me right now, but I didn't ask Boogie too much about it, but I did know he was like, yeah, we were getting royalty checks.
Right.
Now, were y'all were getting checks? Because we got a couple checks, but see, I think when it came down to us, stuff changed. I
Mm-hmm.
think stuff changed. And I know I know he was reinvesting in a certain way too, and I definitely get that
Yes.
being older. But I always kind of wanted to know, but you try not to get into much of that. And
Yes.
but yeah, and I know him and Boogie were a little, close, so I ain't really going there with her with that
Yeah.
one. But
No.
yeah, he
Look, I'm gonna say this because I think that after having a career in this business, I mean everything is business, right? And when you invest in a project, you everything is itemized. You know what it takes. Like when Pleasure started, I mean I was the very first person in Pleasure, and then there were other girls. We rehearsed long before we came out, right?
mm-hmm,
And those rehearsal studio, that time has to be paid for. They're not paid for it in that moment, but it's
mm-hmm,
definitely tracked, right?
right,
And then you
right,
bring in people like Roy, who was involved, who was the producer. Producers have to get paid. Again, they don't get paid in that moment, but you track everything and then it
mm-hmm.
has to be recouped, right? So.
Exactly. So you
And
were
I think
first. How?
because we were girls, I don't know, I
Mm-hmm,
just felt like we were taken care of. I mean, I was so young, right?
mm-hmm.
And like I just felt like we were taking care and we were the first. So we were
Yes,
like Charlie's angels. You know what I mean? These are
yes,
my angels. Like take care of the girls. No, I'm driving the girls. Like we would do gigs everywhere. And Charlie
yes,
was our driver. He just was overprotective of us, right? And rightfully so.
exactly. And no, that's true. I thought about, of course, the y'all the girls, but and the first
Yeah.
girls, and like there were a lot of first in there. So you
Yeah.
said you were in the band first. How did you
Yeah.
meet
You want to know
Charlie?
how that came about? So I was
Yeah.
playing through the Marion Barry. Kudos to Marion Barry. He had the summer youth program. And so I was playing off of Georgia Avenue for it was recreation center. And I was playing in a band for the recreation center, and Roy Battle was there, right? He was in charge of the
Hmm.
kids. I was one of the kids. And then Roy said to me, because I was a part of a girl band. It was a girl band where I was the only brown person. There were two of us. I was the drummer, and Beth Scott, the bass player. And we were playing R&B in clubs and stuff. And then Rory said, "Yeah, we want to put this go-go band together. Would you be interested?" And I was like, yeah, I was like, yes. He was like, I want to introduce you to Charlie. So I remember going to the studio and I met Charlie Fenwick. And I had already been to the Duke Ellington School of the Arts. I was already had a full scholarship to Howard University, which I didn't really stay there long, but I had that. So I had understood the business. I mean, I was in the business, from long before getting in pleasure. So I understood some things. I understood that Charlie had this idea. He wanted to put together this project. Initially, myself and my god brother and my mom, when I met with Charlie first, and then they came, we said, you need to put us on contract. When you don't have contracts, things kind of can get out of order, especially as things start developing and other people come in and start whispering in your ear. But he didn't do
Mm.
that. And so I remember it was myself, and then I brought in Kimberly Bishop and Jenny, who was in the R&B band with me, and Beth, the bass player. And then they weren't interested in the other girls. And then they brought in My Heart, Little Boogie, and then some of the others. And that's how Pleasure started. And we spent a lot of time, long before people knew us, we were like a secret. And
Hmm.
we spent a lot of time starting with me first, because I didn't know, anything about go-go. I had just been playing all of this other stuff, and just spent a lot of time in the shed at Sound by Charlie preparing for the breakout. And that's how it started. So
Building up that
yeah.
stamina and that time
Hmm.
in that pocket. Yeah.
Yep.
Yeah. Same here. So just one more question about pleasure.
Yeah.
We can move on. So when Herbie came down and
Hmm.
some people went up there, did you go with him and do some of the salt and pepper stuff?
So initially, when Herbie came, after clearly there was some conversation that happened behind my back, in addition to others, but I
Mm,
remember the band being all together, because I didn't even know this was a conversation when everything hit the fan. When we left Charlie, because it was a collective, it was we. Then I found out, because I feel like I'm a business person, right? So I'll tell you what happened. We had a meeting. It was the home of Michelle and Claudia, and we had a meeting. I wasn't the facilitator of the meeting, but there was a meeting, and they said we need to leave Charlie, and I just felt in my stomach, it just didn't feel right, right? But the band made a decision as a whole, and when you're a part of something, you go. So we went to Charlie's studio. Lord have mercy, this is so hard. But we went to Charlie's studio. I'll never forget that evening, and it was you know the band said we're leaving, and this is what we're doing. And so we left, and I remember being in the city, and thinking, okay, right away the following week we're going to go to New York. Nothing happened for months, and I'm like, this is crazy, this don't make no sense, and I didn't feel good about it anyway, but nothing happened for months. And then I just said, you know what? I'm going back to Charlie, because it didn't feel right. So I went back to Charlie, had a meeting with him, apologized, and he understood it. It's a group, like groups stick together, even if it's wrong. But I've learned
mhm.
some things. There's integrity, there's a lot of things. And when you do business, business is not personal. I've just learned a lot of things about what's right and what's wrong, especially being in Hollywood and doing business in Hollywood with business people and globally. So there's like you can burn your relationship. Clearly, this wasn't on a global level, but still, I believe in karma. So I went back to Charlie. We had a conversation, and with my background, I said, "Look, it didn't feel right, but look, we're a band, and you taught us some things about sticking together. But
Yeah.
nothing is happening." So then we had another situation. It was myself and Boogie and some other people, but then finally Salt and Pepper, they called, and so by this time they had had another drummer, but I went to New York to check it out, and at that point I played percussion, and I remember doing New York Girls in the Name of Rap. It was on MTV. I didn't tour with them in Europe and everything because they had had a drummer by this point. And so I realized what the situation was, right? Sometimes you think people want to use you as the head, but you realize you're a background person and they just don't treat you right, right? And so I decided to leave that situation, and I came back and I was a part of the New Pleasure, what Charlie had put together. And I was there until I left for Atlanta and then to Los Angeles.
Oh,
And
okay.
that
Yeah.
lesson, that taught me a lot. I mean, yeah, you really have to know what people's intentions are, because people will tell you anything to get you to do something that's not necessarily right, right?
Right. Or in your best interest. But yeah, like you said,
Right.
the integrity part, I totally understand that.
Yeah.
And that's what I was
And I
going,
know because I'm a businesswoman. I mean, if I put together, like, if I put my heart, like everybody says to me, I develop a lot of kid artists. I deal with a lot of Disney kids who are on TV shows as actors, and then their parents bring me in, and I develop them to get deals at Hollywood Records, right? That's what it was before all of this pandemic stuff happened. But then if I did all of this and then the people walk away and go to like a huge management company after I did all the work and put time. Your time is your money. Like, guys, you can pay me for my time, or because I'm passionate about this project, I'm going to do it. It's pretty devastating. It's like, you want to say something else. So it's just not right. But
yeah.
that's why you got to do contracts, you got to do agreements, and all of that.
Hmm.
So,
And like you said, he's been through it several times. We talk about, and I
yeah,
see it when he talk about, I see how bad it, how bad it affected him.
yeah,
Um,
yeah.
yeah, like you said, that's just unfortunate, but it's just a part of the business. That
Yes.
it is.
Yeah.
So yeah, and that's what I was gonna get at. How did you feel? When the separation happened. So you pretty much explained it, but I
Oh,
just
it was
always wondered.
breathtaking. I was there. I felt it. I'm like, oh, it don't feel right. But when you're
Right.
young, you don't understand why you feel that way. But since I've been in Hollywood long enough, I know when something doesn't feel right and when it does. It's like, oh,
Exactly.
that's not a good thing to do. you know. So,
So you said you did like the second coming of pleasure for a while, and then you said we went to Atlanta before LA.
yes. So I went to Atlanta for a project, and I lived in gosh, I forget. I lived in Buckhead. So I lived next
Mm,
door to Dallas. No, I used to go to Dallas Austin Studio, but I lived next door to Tim and Bob. They were coming up. They had already started producing some big artists. Like, I talked to Tim to this day, and we're like, wow, but I lived next door to Tim and Bob, who were like up and coming producers. Babyface and LA Reid were there. I mean, it was just Atlanta was popping. And then
mm-hmm.
I left Atlanta after 2 years because my boy Gordon Campbell, who's a drummer who went to Howard, he was like, "You need to come to LA." And I went to LA during a time where there weren't a lot of female drummers, right? And I went to LA, and he was like, "You need to come to LA, it's a scene." And so I went to LA 2 years later, and I went I hit the streets running. So I lived with a drummer, Gordon Campbell, who's a well-known drummer today, and Trevor Lawrence Jr., who's also another famous drummer. And so we lived all together, three drummers, one girl and two guys, and they took me around town. I sat in until I booked my first gig with this artist Davina, who was on Loud Records, and then the second gig was the Keenan Ivory Wayans show. And
Mm,
I feel like, wow, I've been so fortunate because just the opportunities presented themselves. I was prepared, and I'm always professional. Clearly not doing what happened with Charlie, but just always being professional, reliable, being prepared. And by God's grace, I've been able to do great things with my career. So,
absolute assets for a drummer, right? Dependable, professional, attitude, right? Is that's
and
what
being
makes a
able to
good drummer.
keep time, being able
Of
to keep
course.
time, because all those gigs, we always play with a metronome, from the Dolls to Will I Am to Hillary Duff. It's always a click track. And even if you want to play licks, you're playing these gigs. They're pop gigs. They're so simple, but they pay a lot of money, right? So you just do the job. Like, that's it. Like, okay, you just do the job. It's not about you. Being a clinician, obviously you can, do your chops and stuff, but you just do the job and, get in where you fit in. And then I started working with Sting and like the brothers Johnson and just all these great people. Like, I just feel so grateful. Here it is, Thanksgiving, and I just look back on my life and the things that I've done. It's kind of funny because you have no clue. It's like, you just have to step out and take a chance. Like I was telling Greg Clark, right? Greg Clark, our homie from DC. I'm
Mhm.
so happy that he's doing Will Smith. And I feel like when you do gigs like that, they're life changing for a number of reasons. But it definitely changes your life when you have those like elevated, high profile gigs, the way you're treated, what you're earning, the places you travel all over the
Mhm.
world, places people
Mhm.
can't even imagine, where you see people that look like you speaking seven languages, and like, why in America they're talking this black and white stuff, where are you guys from? Like, we're just American, and so it's just life changing, it's elevating, and we come with such culture. Like, I'm so proud to be from the DMV, because people in LA are like, you are so confident. I'm like, you don't know about Chocolate City? Like, you need to go to Chocolate
Right.
City. I'm so proud.
Right.
I'm so happy to be from the DMV. I'm telling
Es
you, because
especially as a drummer. I mean, I know in certain circles, but look, if they know it's gonna hold weight as a go-go drummer in any, you could go, man. I've talked to Lil Jon. We
yes,
Berkeley trained, right? They know it's a
yeah,
science. So that's another like badge that I think we wear aside from just the DC, you know, um,
yes,
coolness or
yeah,
reputation.
swag.
So in terms, so how influential or impactful was Roy in, see, because you went to Duke and you were playing
Yes.
first. I mean, I had just started playing for a couple years, and I kind of was
Mm-hmm.
a natural, but I'm teaching myself, listening to heavy
Mm-hmm.
one and great. I didn't play in church, so
Oh,
I'm
that'd
I'm
be
I'm
fun.
learning
Yeah.
as a go-go drummer mainly, right? And
Yes.
so like I tell Roy every time I see him, just he was so important to my
Yeah.
growth. And I mean, just everything. As a producer, I used to ask some questions about sound. I'll be in
Yes.
the control room, and so was he really impactful in terms of maybe philosophy or just theory and space, right? Knowing how to do the same pickup every time,
Yeah.
Felix. It's like a hook, stuff like that.
Yeah. I feel like Roy, he's brilliant. He's a genius. And, again, I was young. I never took advantage or took him for granted. I listened to everything he said, but I wish I had even like asked for more of him,
Mhm.
because he's brilliant musically. He comes from a brilliant musical family. And yeah, he's just brilliant. He's very gifted, very talented. And I mean, he was definitely the sound behind Pleasure. I mean, he was our producer, you know. He was the
Mhm.
sound behind Pleasure. He told, you know, and just especially maybe not live, but he would tell stories about
Uh-oh. We lost you. Did your phone die, Shawnee, baby? Um, uh-uh. That's not what I want. Maybe she having reception or the phone died. But shout out to the folks on Instagram. King Dollar, what's up, baby? I am Dr. Burgess, Mr. Armani, appreciate you. It's J Dub, round noonish. You hear me? Round noonish, it's 5 o'clock somewhere, Mr. Friendly. Ask Ray. Hey Ray. Pear. Paris B. Appreciate you.
you know.
Appreciate everybody coming in. Oh, there she is. I hear you.
There you go. Okay.
Oh,
So yeah, can you hear? I can hear you now. I couldn't hear you. So Roy, yeah, he's just underrated. So I'm working on a single. Roy is one of the people who's producing it. And yeah, I mean, I had to have him, you know. I'm like, Roy, you got to produce this song for me. So
excuse me.
he's just so talented, you know.
Like you said, I think he is underrated. And maybe not even underrated. People just don't know he's behind so many
Cuz he's so
projects and
quiet.
songs. He's so quiet.
He's
That's what
so
I was gonna say. I've
quiet.
been trying to get him
Which
on
is
here.
good. I mean, he's humble, right? That's what's
Man.
important.
So
What?
we
So
had
yeah,
Funky
he's so
Ned.
humble.
We
Yeah.
had Funky Ned and Roy. And Dyke would
Mm.
come through, Funk would come through.
Wow.
Charlie, he was laying it on us, right?
Right.
And eventually Ned was gone. Much respect, I love Funky Ned, but his
Yeah.
delivery was a little different. I had a little attitude problem. I had no
Yeah.
business having no
Hmm.
attitude problem, but me and Roy, he could communicate it. He could communicate
Yeah,
better with
he's
me.
different. Yeah.
So yeah, we definitely got it done. So
Isn't that
that was
interesting how you said I had a little attitude problem, but everything is communication, right? When you understand sometimes people's delivery is hard, you know, whatever hard means, not like just do this, you know, but just the way it feels like, oh, it's disrespectful, but everything is about humility and like understanding where a person is coming from. Like it's not about you. Like I feel like in LA right now, a lot of people are sensitive to the way people talk to them. Obviously, I'm a little older than people, but when I was coming up as a drummer, the way that people talk when you're in rehearsals, if you're sensitive, you know what? We don't give a. That's what they would say. If you can't handle the heat, get the heck out of the kitchen. You know, so I'm like, man, I mean, and I think that I wouldn't be the player that I am today in terms of strength, power, and dynamics if it wasn't for, you know, you can't be sensitive. Otherwise, I would be like, ting, you know, it's like, no,
right,
play the drums. You're a drummer, play the drums.
right. And with that, I think sometimes comes the attitude, right? With great power becomes great responsibility. When you're the
Hmm.
drummer, you can shut this whole joint down. And at a young age,
Yeah,
that's a lot. You got to be. So of
yeah,
course you grow. We, like you said, we 16,
yeah,
17, and whatever it was. I don't know if he reminded me of my father. Was my father
yeah,
got a certain way, right? It just we didn't
right.
click. He
Yeah,
might have been teasing me. I looked at a clip I saw. I said, man, Ned was probably just teasing me, and Ned got his own personality. But like I
yes,
said, I just saw him a couple weeks ago. I love and appreciate everything they did. Now, of course, looking back,
yes,
but
right.
but yeah, as a drummer, a
Yeah,
lot of drummers got a little chip on their shoulder. Like you said,
yeah,
that's what a drummer is. Ozzy Osbourne said it one time. You got to be crazy. And look, he's scooting around the house. He's telling his kid, his
yeah,
daughter, you got to be crazy to just bang on stuff. It's like, who are you talking to? You ate a head off
right.
a bat, Ozzy. But nah, so I think that kind of come with it, and that's a lot. That says a lot about drummers, like you said, dependable and all those things,
Yeah,
because we know it's not. We got to get there. We got to be on time. We got to hold that beat. We the backbone. So that could
yeah,
go to your head if you let it. And a good drummers know how to control that and don't. Not. I'm not going to use that.
yeah.
So
I
like you
remember I
said, just
came
learned a lot
home
from
one
them.
time. I came home one time and Charlie, I sat in. I don't know who it was with. It was with somebody because Charlie Fenwick was there. It was one of his bands. And I sat in or something. I remember Charlie said, Shawnee, it was after the show. It was just he and I, he was like, Shawnee, your kick used to go up to the red. He was like, you ain't, I was like, wow, like he told me, because
Yeah.
before when I was at home playing go-go, I had so much power in that foot, but he was like, it
Mm,
ain't hitting the red. I mean, it was strong, but it ain't hitting the red. And inside, internally, that made me like, you
I'm
know
about to
what I
go.
mean? I'm gonna get it
Yeah.
next time. You know what I mean?
Yeah, of course. You take that break. And like even if you're just playing top 40, if you're not playing
Right.
that hard style, yeah, it's
Yeah.
going 3 nights a week, 2 nights a week in a rehearsal. Yeah, of
Oh my
course.
God.
I look when
Yeah.
Chink come back. I look at your clips, and because I know when I say, yeah, I know
Yeah.
how that feel. When you get back up there,
But
that
it
big
feels
crowd,
good, man. I
yeah,
mean, it's nothing like coming home, going to a go-go. Like that night that I even played with Junk, like that wasn't even planned. My cousin's like, when you come home, we going out. I said, I don't feel like going out, cousin. And I said, well, if we go out anywhere, okay, let's go see Junk. And we went. Like it wasn't planned that I would sit in or anything, but I was so happy to be home and hearing Go Go live.
right.
And I mean, this had never been done before, but I guess I was going crazy so hard dancing that Bugs was like, "What the heck, Shawty, come up here!"
Yeah, no, you
And
the
that's
one. I
that's how
mean,
it happened.
that's a great
It
feature
felt
to have
so
Shawnee
good.
come back home. Look,
It
it
felt
might have
so.
been in her. You might not have planned it, but she might have had it in her idea. Every time I go out, so I'm about to go see back for my birthday. Like, you playing? I'm like, I don't
Yeah,
think so, but that made my hand broke. But anyway, so
it
she
was
might have had
cool.
it in her plans. But no, that's a great, and that thing was cranking. Like somebody commented, her style was like
Wow.
heavy one.
Yeah, I
Okay,
miss
maybe
that,
some of the
brother.
chops I could take that, but that clip sounded like it was just like some vintage junk.
It felt
So,
so
like I
good. But I
said,
had on a cashmere sweater. I was dying.
oh
I'm like,
Lord
I'm about to
Jesus,
come out of this joint. Like, I had
and the
one
signature.
arm out. I was about to take it off and be in my bra, which is like a bikini. But I'm like, I'm about to come out of this because Blue, I was like, you're not getting off of them drugs. I'm like, dude, I'm burning up. Like, I'm
Right.
sweating.
Shout
Cashmere,
out
never again. Not at a go go.
Kylie. That's Kevin Whitaker. Kylie, right? Guitar. He said great interview from my fellow Disa jazz classmate. Hey Shawnee.
Oh, hey,
Kylie
Kevin.
in the
Oh.
building. Yeah, so did that. Okay, so you in Cali. I remember, okay, so and the signature hat. I just want to say, yeah, that's Shawnee, y'all. If y'all don't know, she gonna keep that
I
hat,
know.
that
I
big hat. Where did that start? Was that like a church, your grandma style or something?
No, no, back at Duke Ellington, I was wearing hats. Like, I
Okay.
don't know. I
You
just
just
love
always
hats.
had style and flair.
You know what? When I was, I mean, I'm still Shawnee baby, but when I was in the go-go band, my sister, who is like my ace boon coon, back then I used to have the jeans with one leg in and then the other leg cut out, and I would work with Charlie's wife Leora to style the band. Like I have my ideas. Basically, I had a line back then, Shawnee Baby brand line, but I mean, I just didn't, I was young. I thought, oh, I'm gonna get to it. And I've always worn hats back at Duke Ellington, right? And so even now, I just love hats and I love fashion. I love fashion. People think I'm a model, but I love fashion and I've done modeling, but I just love fashion. I'm a
Yeah.
drummer, but I love fashion. I love creating. So I've been working on a design for a hat because, it's my thing. And I just love style. And I
Mhm.
think that, being a drummer, a lot of times people think, are you the singer or this or that? I'm like, I'm the drummer. And they're just like totally blown away. But I'm a girl's girl. I like wearing heels. I like wearing short shorts. I like wearing my tops. So I'm just very girly, but I love style and fashion. So, I mean, it's my thing. So finally, I'm going to come out with a brand. I mean, it's been in the works. 2026, definitely things coming out. And yeah, I think it's especially since the pandemic, it's like you got to live your life. You can't wait until tomorrow. You got to do what you want to do now because life is short, and it's all for the people. It's all
Absolutely.
for the people. That's
Absolutely.
where
But
I'm standing.
you've always had that. Like I know you for that. that style and that flair. Like, I just,
Hmm.
always kind of, drummers a lot of times in the back. I mean,
Yes.
different people do different things, but you definitely always stood out. So yeah, about time. Yeah, get that thing going. I would like to. I know
Yeah.
that's gonna be good, right? Because that's just always been a part of you, like a signature, right? Like I said, the
Hmm.
hats, but just style in
Yeah.
general as a
Yeah.
drummer. And you
Yes.
kind of on the tall side, right?
Yes, I'm tall. It's interesting because when I toured with the Pussycat Dolls, as much as I like styling, as much as I like being girly, when I first started rehearsing with them, they brought out the wardrobe, and they had me in heels. There were two drummers, and one was a guy, and then myself, and we were playing electronic Yamaha kits. We did a tour. It was a European tour, and they had me in heels. I mean, look, it's okay to be cute, but I don't want to have problems later because, as a
Yeah,
musician, specifically me as a drummer, there are ways that you have to learn how to play ergonomically so you don't end up with arthritis, you don't end up with tendonitis and, you know, back problems and being off balance where you go to a chiropractor. So I said, I can't wear these heels standing on a pedal and having the high heel over and hit, like, guys, that don't make sense. Like, I want to keep the shoes, but I don't want to play drums in them. So they got me a flat shoe that was a boot. But I definitely wasn't going to risk. And this is one of the things I talk about also when people do tours. Like, I don't want to do a 3-month tour wearing a high heel where I can end up after that tour with an injury that could affect the rest of my life, and I'm the one liable for it. So these are business things that people have to learn. When somebody puts you in a position where you're at risk and they're not going to take the liability for it, right? If
right,
I would have had an
right,
injury where my spine is off and then I got to wear a back brace forever and never could work again, like, I'm responsible for that, not them, right? So you got to stand up for yourself and not do anything for the gig. It's like I'm a drummer, like I'm a girl and I wear my cute clothes, but I'm not going to do it at the risk of someone else's, when they want you to do something and then they don't cover you for it.
right,
Not just the
right.
salary, but just cover you, you know.
Yeah, like the NFL, like, after this,
Oh
what's
my
gonna be
God.
my medical insurance? Like, yeah, y'all gonna take care of me?
Yes.
And I heard they got some better stuff happening now.
Yeah.
Shout out to my bro G, to the good brother Roland. Y'all look out for the Up podcast. Me and my
Hey.
the good brother Roland are we working on something, talking to the people. We gonna do a lot of engagement with the people. Thank you for stopping
Hey.
through. Original. I like that. Like how that's spelled. I
Original.
like to just Lux
Shout
Life
out.
News join. Appreciate you, no bummitus. I see you looking. 1976. That's the magic year.
Woo.
Y'all all for tuning in. So you kind of just so let me give you some more history.
Mm-hmm.
Of course, when y'all was coming on the jukebox, like I said, this was
Mm-hmm.
around the
Oh,
time I'm
man.
14, 15. Metro
Yes.
World had started coming on. So I'm coming home from school. Can't wait to see Metro World and the
Wow.
jukebox. And y'all, I wasn't calling, but
Mhm.
every time y'all played 2 5 25,
Yeah.
so just so much info.
Um,
Like I said, and it
wow.
was just like,
Oh my
I just
God.
remember pleasure, especially. I mean, y'all was girls and y'all was cute, and I had a little crush on you.
Yeah.
I ain't gonna lie, but so now, but then to get the call to say the manager that did pleasure, like we knew Charlie. We would go to the
Wow.
little cheap studios, but one time we
Mhm.
went. We gonna go to Charlie. Everybody know of Charlie,
Wow.
but
Yeah.
the manager of pleasure is starting a new band, like you said, and he's doing auditions.
Mhm.
We were secretive,
Wow.
all that. Not as much as y'all, of course, because that was a
Yes.
whole new thing. But so coming from just like it was like, yeah, this is what I was almost like manifestation. I was seeing and admiring, and even
Mhm.
saw y'all coming through the door that time, and then to come in there and be in the same, pretty much the label with and
Wow.
trained by the same people was just always a cool
Yeah.
thing. So then
Wow.
later, so then you on Keenan, and I'm like, look at Shauney. That's my sister. Yeah, we used to, yeah, Charlie.
Wow.
We was at Sound by Charlie and Thump together. Yeah, I know them.
Wow.
Um, um,
Wow.
I mean, I knew Boogie a little more because she went to
Yeah.
Blade, but all this like
Right.
this
Yeah.
history, the stomping ground. We can go to Chapel Oaks and Jam and Jeff. Like a lot of stuff
Wow.
just came together
My
later. Like
boy,
wow,
Jeff.
all yeah, like these. We all. It's such a small city though, and it's
Yeah, it
like
is. We all
um,
connected.
we all connected, right? So then my mother was working at Sharp Health with your grandmother. I don't remember her name,
Oh my God, my grandmother. Oh, oh
and I would get
man.
reports. There's
So I
Shawnee on the
met
road with
your mom.
probably
I
my
met
mom's
you.
was up there. And they would just tell me, yeah, well, Shawnee out there with Miley Cyrus or no, what's
Hillary
her
Duff.
name?
Hillary
Hillary
Duff.
Duff, and Nancy on tour with
Wow.
this and this. Can we just run down some of the tours? Because I wasn't
Oh
aware of the
my
Pussycat
gosh.
Dolls.
Wow, I've done a lot of things. Wow. So, okay. Hillary Duff, Robin Thicke,
Wow.
Nate Dogg, Jay-Z and Alicia Keys. I did the American Music Awards with them. I did some shows with Snoop Dogg. I was the drummer for Will I Am for his solo project. When Fergie did her solo, he did his solo. Sting,
That
Paulina Rubio, Ricky Martin. I did a shot of Pilot with Roseanne Barr. I was the music director for 112. Like so many people. I'm like,
well, okay,
oh
so
my
now
God,
let's go
make
back
me
to this
remember.
video. Let's go back to this video. BU, no disrespect, because you might not have known this, because I didn't know all this. This is not a baby Sheila E. Sheila E might be a baby Shawnee baby, because this
No, Shirley E's
resume.
older.
Now we're
She's
not gonna
been
do this.
around.
Nobody's a baby, nothing. Sheila
Yeah,
E is Sheila E, and Shawnee baby is
yeah,
Shawnee baby. But I just, man, that's why I love doing these because I knew you did
yeah.
some things and it was some stuff I didn't know about. I'm not gonna go research everything. We're gonna have an organic
Right. Yeah,
conversation. But Sting and Jay, like some of these names, I
yeah,
mean, just to tour with anybody, right? Like you said, to see the
yeah,
world, to go to these places, to perform, to express yourself through your art, through your craft
yeah,
on the dollar of the tour is
yeah,
really the dream. That was for
yeah.
me,
No, it is.
right? So to hear, I didn't know. That's amazing.
And you
Clap it
know
up
what's
for Shawnee, baby,
crazy?
y'all. God damn it! Right from the
When I
damn DMV.
I was happy to meet Sheila E. when I moved to LA because when I was at Duke Ellington, I had a picture of her on my refrigerator, you know? So when I moved to
Okay.
LA, I met Sheila E. and I met Terry Lane Carrington, who is a professor at Berklee College of Music in Boston. But before then, I met Cindy Blackman, who is
Mm.
married to Santana. She's been in my life since I was 14. So I met her when I was at Duke Ellington. So, I mean, these people to me are iconic. I mean, Sheila E. is definitely an icon and wow, you know, but you know how home is, and I just feel like, you know, we love the people we love and we just kind of support one another. And you know, I was shocked that he said that. I was like,
Yeah, I was
and
trying. It wasn't that clear, but I was trying to look at your face.
she and I'll have a conversation about it. But you know, because I thought that was cute. I mean, like, man, to be associated with an icon.
Oh yeah, no, I'm
But
really joking because no,
no,
that's
I
cool
know
in
you are.
itself.
I know you are.
But I was looking at your face. It's like, but like I said, I didn't even know to the extent of your
Yeah,
resume was like this. But of course, look, it would be
yeah. I've
great
worked with a lot of
if both of
people.
y'all can get up there with Junkyard or
Yeah, that
Backyard.
would
If
be cool.
right,
Oh my
that would be
God.
get her on the
Yeah, that would be
timbales
cool. Yeah,
or
that
any
would be
band for
cool.
that matter.
I
But
will say that I'm grateful. It's been at least I've toured for at least 30 years. Like, wow, like it just makes me emotional and I'm just grateful. I'm just
that's
grateful
a
because I
beautiful
didn't
thing.
have a clue and I'm just at a point in my life where I just want to help. You know, it's so many female musicians when I was coming up definitely wasn't a lot. I got pushed around a lot by the guys, but you know, teenage boys and young men, they got a lot of testosterone, and you know, when you're not used to something, it takes time, right, to embrace it. And so at this point, you know, I'll always be a drummer, but I got a book coming out in 2026. I've been doing talks. You know, I try to post it. I got the Process podcast, which people can subscribe to on YouTube and share, but I got that. And I got a book coming out, and I'm just doing a lot of lectures, a lot of talks. I got a tour with my book once it comes out, and I'm just trying to share the message. Well, I won't talk about it here, but I'll definitely see you when I come home. But I just think that music is changing. Obviously, we have AI, and people need to learn to, like, we're always evolving, right? So we got to learn to embrace what's to come and not run away from it, because you always want to be on the head of something. It's like me as a drummer. I'll always be a drummer. I'll pick and choose the tours at this point, but I don't have to be the drummer of the gig. So with all of these young girls up and coming, like some amazing young girls from our city, playing other instruments, like, I mean, I haven't met some of them, but I just want to embrace, try to share messages. That's what my podcast is about, right? Sharing your story and your journey, because it's a process. And I mean, I'm grateful for the work that I've done. I think it's by the grace of God that I've done the body of work that I've done. But I also think it's, at this point, I feel like I'm living on purpose. And I figured that out years ago. Like, when you can identify who you are, whether you believe in God or not, we all have a purpose of why we were brought into this world. And I feel like at this point, I'm on assignment, and I'm living and walking in my purpose. And I think at that point, forget the competitiveness. It's not about that, because if you really believe what God says about, like, giving you the gift, He's going to open the doors for you. It's just a matter of timing and being in alignment with your walk. So,
Absolutely. And I see you embodying that, as I'm looking
yeah.
and, for the interview. And of course I've been following you anyways, but for a while. So just, I see that in your walk. So that's definitely truth. But that's the podcast, y'all. Shauney Recke, the Process Podcast. That's the
Recce.
YouTube.
Yeah.
Oh, Recke, that's how, I'm sorry.
Yeah.
Look, I
Yeah.
just know
No,
the drum. I think about
right.
Recke. She wrecking them drums. No, but definitely go tap in and subscribe to the YouTube, and get some of that good content, which brings me to touring, right?
Mm-hmm.
Because there's a lot of reasons a younger person wants to be a musician, right? A rapper mostly now. Um, and most of them are usually to be famous now, right?
Right.
People don't
Mm-hmm.
understand what that comes with, right? These
Yes.
youngsters, and a lot of we didn't either, but you see
Yeah.
it on
No, we didn't.
TV, right? You want it,
Yeah.
and then as time goes on, you realize, you find out your love for the instrument, the craft, and all the other
Yeah.
stuff might, it's not as important. But one of my things was always to see the world, right? I
Yes.
can, if I go see the world on this ticket and do something I'm,
Yeah.
loving any type of work, but to play music,
Mm-hmm.
right? Like, it was a time when we played music for free. And now, you
Yes.
gotta have my number. And sometimes we lose the essence. I'm not saying that we gotta go play for free, but we gotta just
Right.
always remember, right? Like, I know you live in LA, you hear be like a kid again, right? They're saying the mindset of is a freedom without inhibition, and a lot of things that's conditioned in us later on through life, that when you're a kid, you're more open to things and have like a more free and innocent attitude. I'm not saying go be taken
Do you
advantage of. So saying that to say, go ahead. Go ahead. My bad.
hear the static? Do you hear the static?
Oh yeah, I do.
What is
I
it?
do. It came and then it went. Can maybe you can go out and go back in, or
Let me go.
mute and then unmute your mic. Shauney baby, y'all. Shauney Recke. Shauney Recke. I've been saying Shauney Recke because she be giving up that wreck on them drums. You hear me? The legendary. So let's see. Is it still there? It is still there a little bit. I don't know what's going on.
The best is unmuted. Oh,
Edit mic settings.
my mic
Reduce
is
background
unmuted.
noise. Echo cancellation. Reduce background noise. Uh-oh. What happened? Did I do that? Wait a minute. Okay. Yeah. Sometimes this stuff happens. The only thing about live. Hello? Oh, okay. Yeah, what's up, Damon? Appreciate you coming through. Mel B, I ain't get to shout you out yet. Absolutely. Absolutely, Mel. Black Butterfly, appreciate you. They showing the Queen love. They
Thanks
saying
for the love.
Black Butterfly 69, Mel B said, "You are so beautiful and talented. Thank you for being a role model for younger girls."
Oh,
I wanted
definitely.
to get into because I saw a clip and you were talking about, and like this is just definitely a major thing. That's what I'm saying. When people go in, when younger people want to, want to be a musician, they don't think about tours and the radio spots. Okay, I got to do this club and this club or this spot and in-store signings, and then wake up and do the radio in the morning. Like it's a lot. The talk shows and because back in the day, that's the promo run. A lot of people don't realize because everybody do podcasts and we just talking and talking. But when you had a project or a tour, you go to David Letterman, you go to Johnny J. Leno, and they would go to these platforms, the radio station, the news joints in the morning. You're promoting your book or your tour or your album, and that's kind of how it works. But it's a high demand, and when you're touring, right, especially with musicians you don't know, right? Now, of course, the Huggerbucks was the funnest thing ever. I've played with other bands after. Okay, it was cool, but we talking about 16 to 21-year-old fun. So it was a certain fun that could never be duplicated. But my, desire to tour as I got older, kind of, I would be a little intimidated by it, just talking to people, hearing about like, yeah, the food, like even going down Virginia, right? Charlie going every weekend, what to eat, and
So bad.
dang. But see, I saw you was talking about this, so I want you to touch on this because it's very important, like diet and just all the tour stuff.
Okay.
You, I
So
don't. Yeah,
I would say
it's so
in
bad,
regards,
Shauney. It's so bad. I
yes.
don't know what to do. I'm kicking you out. I don't know.
But what is more
Is your phone dying or something? Battery
it's like
low?
plugged up. I mean, I don't know what's
They
going on.
hating on us. We
Let me
killing
try
them.
to do something.
It's
Give me a
such a
minute,
good
okay?
interview.
I'll come back.
All right, come back. Come back, baby. Come back. Let me do it all again. Um, yeah, we having some technical difficulties. My man Damon got a birthday tomorrow. Sag is in the building. Sagittarius. Nah, it's Sag season, y'all. Happy birthday to all the Sages. Happy Thanksgiving. You know what I mean? Jose, my man Jose, looking at all the Sages that's around this time. And happy birthday. Shout out to y'all. Marco Davis, appreciate you. Man, I definitely wanted to get into, I want to talk about touring and like, you know, just the you on the road and food and what I'm saying, if you got a funny stomach or it's a lot that come with that, and personalities amongst band members, or if you want to tour with a big artist like a Sting, or these sometimes these people don't have the greatest attitude, so it's a lot to deal with, and you on the road like you might be in another country, so it's like things you have to deal with that I think a lot of people don't realize, or youngsters when they you know want to go into this. And of course, you don't know everything. You don't know what you don't know. But that's why we're here to talk about this and talk to people who have experienced these things, so you can get a full understanding on them, so you could determine whether that's something you want to do. What's up, Real Estate Steve? My brother Steve in the building. Reggie in the pocket. Lux Life News. Appreciate everybody coming through, man. We trying to fix the static. I don't know what's going on with StreamYard. And if we got to make it a part 2, I'm sure we can make it a part 2. I know Shauney coming to town soon. We might could do that one in person. Is everybody eating good? That's what I forgot to ask. Is everybody full? I ain't do too much yet. I had me a little light plate. Yeah. I'm partying with Backyard up Nottingham Saturday, y'all. If anybody want to come through and party with me, I'm gonna be sagging up there. But definitely appreciate all y'all. I just need y'all to like and share this with a friend. That's all I need from y'all tonight. Just like and share it with a friend. You know, even if it's not tonight, share it with a friend tomorrow. Save it. Save it into make a playlist of Cheefism, my favorite Cheefism podcast shows. Make your playlist on your YouTube or something so you can keep track of it. And that helps me with the algorithm. I appreciate you. I appreciate you. Auntie Sandra, how you doing? We were having a great interview, but the damn, what you call it? Shauney's mic was getting some static, so I might have to send her this link again. But definitely some great information from the Queen. On her journey, her travels, you know, her understanding and enlightenment, you know, that she's been learning on that journey and through the experience and the travels, sharing some of that stuff. Definitely a beautiful thing. Happy we got to do this. Like I said, even if we got to come back, I know it's Thanksgiving. I ain't even trying to hold everybody. And Shauney in LA, so it's like 5:00 over there. So you know what I mean? She trying to go relax and eat with the fam and all that stuff too. So we might just have to reconvene and pick this up later and finish this conversation and pick it right back up on the tour thing. Because like I said, I'm pretty sure she has some valuable information on, you know, the tour life, the good, bad, and the ugly. Because of course, this is great stuff that comes from it too. You know, so definitely appreciate anybody coming in here on Thanksgiving, because you know time is precious, time is valuable. You know what I mean? So appreciate y'all coming to check us out on Thanksgiving. When I scheduled this interview, I didn't even realize it was Thanksgiving. I was just hyped for having Shauney baby coming through on the Cheef and Go show. Hey, it's the Cheef and Go show. And the other day, my mom was like, "Hey, you know Thursday is Thanksgiving." And I was like, "Yeah, no, I know." Oh, goddamn, the Cheef and Go. But you know, I got to keep it going. Got to keep it cranking for the culture. You hear me? Each and every. Definitely appreciate y'all. Malik Dope. What's up, Malik? A shout out to special dedication to Malik, the definition of percussion entertainment, dynamite young percussionist and drummer and star. You got that star quality. Shout out to you, Malik. Yeah, we're gonna reconvene next week. I will be talking to Darren X, and we're gonna get to the bottom of some things. I mean, you know, we're gonna find out about his story and Go-Go Royalty and what they got going over there, and More specifically, we're gonna get to these go-go awards. We're gonna, I'm gonna bring you, we're gonna talk to the people behind it, right? We're gonna talk to the people that, because a lot of people got issues and gripes and complaints. So we're gonna get into it, and I want y'all to hear their side of the story. I want you to hear Darren's side of the story, and and how it came about, and what the struggles that they got, because everybody got a problem, but they not doing the Go-Go Awards. So I want to just bring him on to clear the air on some things, for sure. Want to do that. Thank you, Ray. So Darren X will be here next Thursday. And like I said, we're gonna talk about several things. And then I'll get with Shauney, and we gonna reconvene. We're gonna do we'll finish this up soon enough, soon as possible. But thank everybody for coming through on Turkey Day. I hope don't eat too much and be too full now. Don't do that. Y'all gonna be, you know what I'm saying? Well, I don't know. I know I'm bored. I gotta lose some weight, so I gotta chill. But if that's what y'all want to do it. But gluttony, it's the seven deadly sins. Don't just be eating and keep eating just to eat. You know what I'm talking about? Eat until eat to give your body what it need. Don't be doing too much. Well, that's y'all prerogative. And if you're out and you're drinking, and you know what I'm saying, you're gonna be driving, be safe. We'll get you an Uber. We'll designate a driver. Shouldn't be driving drunk, Or like the commercial say, don't drive buzz. They say, yeah, I just buzzed. I can drive. I'm not gonna get into that professional buzz driving thing. But when you ain't supposed to be driving, take a nap. You know what I mean? But definitely appreciate y'all. It's the Cheef and Go Show. The Cheef and Go Show. I don't have my intro today, so it's just me, intro and outro. The Cheef and Go Show. Boom, kubaku, bukakaru, bukakagoom, boom, boom, budakadu, bukak, boo, bukaku, boom, 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 bubakaru, glue, glue, bukaku, boom, back, boom, bukaku, bukak, boom, bukak, boom. Ding, 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 ding. R.I.P., man. Rest in peace, my man Marco, man. Marco used to come down the halls and blade, and that's all he talking about. Tap, boom, boom, tap. Stackoo, kagoom, boom. Kagoom, kagoom, goom. Backoo, kagoom, goom, goom. Kagoom, kagoom, goom, goom. Kagoom, kagoom, goom. That was his shit. My man Marco. Shout out to Marco. I mean, rest in peace, man. Rest in beats, Marco. Yeah, man. Eric, you be safe too, my brother. I gotta send you my Joan again. I saw that message. I just been running around doing a whole bunch of stuff, man. But you be safe out there. God bless y'all, man. God bless, man. Y'all definitely go follow Shauney on the podcast, and just stay tuned. And we gonna run it back and finish it out. You know what I mean? So y'all enjoy y'all family, enjoy y'all night. Everything's gonna be all right. Everything gonna be all right. Everything gonna be all right. Everything's gonna be all right. Wow. Now, I appreciate all y'all. Subscribe. Please like, subscribe, share it with a friend. Save it to a playlist or something, show them niggas some love. Cause we're doing it for the culture. All right. The American Dream 1942. Appreciate you. One love, y'all. Bless up. And until the next time, be safe. Spread love and not hate. All right. Peace.